Hello there. The anger is rising. The world's farmers are on the march, and a fearful establishment has absolutely no idea what to do about it. This is not going to stop anytime soon. The farmers are in it for the long haul because their livelihoods and our food supplies are at massive risk if they fail. For example, farmers in Wales have been out and about and even visited the Wrexham offices of their Rural Affairs Minister. More on that in a minute. But as you would guess, the lefty eco-zealots are trying to pin the far-right label on the whole shebang. For example, writing for Euractiv.com, an eco-activist Isabel Schatzsnyder writes that Europe is now facing the depressing sight of the far right hitching a ride to power on the back of a tractor ridden by a raging farmer. Well, there's a good eco-commie version of events. She doesn't seem to care about the farmer being angry, but she does appear to fear the prospect of a group of politicians coming along to help that angry farmer. And maybe by depicting the farmer as raging, tries to put them somehow in the wrong too. And she goes on to talk about the far right using unfounded fears over the high levels of immigration into the EU as well. Yes, sprinkle claims of xenophobia into the narrative as well, why don't you? And on farming, she goes on to say, the knock-on effect of the far-right's tie-in with Europe's raging farmers means decades of work reversing climate denialism and hard-won climate policy hangs in balance alongside the looming threat of a populist surge that could infect the rest of the West. Now I wonder what she'll be eating, or thinks she'll be eating, when the farmers are eventually forced off the land. Or maybe she already does eat bugs. I don't know. But the farmers are sticking to their task of bringing to light the sheer cost of all this net zero stuff on them, something that will have to eventually hit our pockets too as time goes on. Less food, but much pricier food will be the WEF preferred outcome. Now, to illustrate just how frustrated the Welsh farming community is over the trashing of the agriculture sector, just watch this next clip. It's Ioan Humphreys, at that Welsh farmer, on Twitter.
Hello, it's me again. This is take 6, 7, 8, I think, of this video I've tried to take, and I just keep getting riled, I keep getting upset. It's really just taking a toll. What the Welsh Government are trying to do to us in here, I really don't know. I'm sorry, I'm getting it's horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous. Sorry. All I want to do is continue farming the land that we have done since 1903 and be able to pass that on to future generations. I get it. I get we need to change some farming practices. I get that you always have to change, you always have to evolve. But what the Welsh Government are trying to do is just kill us off. Just completely wipe us out. Just to fill their quotas, to fill their net zero quotas, to tick a box. Just wipe out family farms to tick a box. Oh my God. Not again. I don't know. I will do anything to fight back against the government, but it's not really a fight back. I'm just fighting for my right to continue to farm.
That was painful to watch, wasn't it? and I bet that's replicated across the whole of Europe. You can feel the frustration, anger, and even a little fear oozing out of every second of it, can't you? And he is accepting there have to be changes, but the pace of those changes is unacceptably fast. In fact, it's so stupidly rapid that it will crash the Welsh farming sector if it goes ahead. And he's right to point out that it appears to be the total destruction of the industry thereafter, just so politicians and officials can tick a row of net zero boxes. Ask yourself, could you take that level of stress? These farmers are being told that if they want public money, they have to rewild 10% of their land and also plant trees on another 10%. That's 1/5 of their land commandeered by the government for net zero purposes, unprofitable net zero purposes. And when faced with direct and pertinent questions about the financial impact of this on the farming community, this is what they are faced with.
Future system recognise the potential devaluation of that land because land with trees on it isn't as valuable, is it, as land that you might use for, grazing cows for dairy, for example. Where in the system is that loss effectively to that individual farm recognised?
You see, I don't come at the perhaps the angle that you're coming at. I don't see trees as being devaluing to the business, to the farming.
And the person giving that rather dismissive and condescending reply was the Welsh Minister for Rural Affairs, Lesley Griffiths. They just don't care. The net zero tick box exercise must continue because the likes of Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates and Tony Blair say so. No wonder Welsh farmers descended on Wrexham on a tractor go-slow and, according to reports, smashed eggs on the doorstep of Lesley Griffiths' office. And this disdain for agriculture isn't just in Wales, of course. In Scotland, it's come to light that Humza useless Yousaf's SNP government has somehow lost 61 million quid out of the agriculture budget. It obviously had to be spent on something else far more important, didn't it? Aid to Gaza, perhaps. And guess what? The farmers of Scotland are not impressed. And the backlash has been so intense that Yousaf has been forced to promise to find the 61 million quid from somewhere else to top up the agriculture budget. And talking about this on Farming Forum, many farmers were quick to say that Yousaf will no doubt try to deflect by blaming Brexit or Westminster when it's all down to SNP vanity projects, sparking comments that maybe the Scottish Government should be shut down. Well, it sounds to me like it's either the Scottish farmers that will be destroyed or the SNP that will go. Not working out well for the SNP and Yousaf, is it? However, I doubt that, despite whatever they say, Labour, Tories and Lib Dems would do any different. They're all wedded to the exact same net zero destruction of agriculture. But maybe the message here is that if you follow the controlling net zero orders of the WEF new communist world order, it will bring about your eventual political downfall. Now, I talked recently about Indian farmers getting in on the act. Well, they are. And it looks very intense, doesn't it? Now, I gather they are looking for a minimum price for food production to make it viable. But just as in Europe, many commentators are portraying it as rich farmers and others using farmers in general to push political aims, like an independent Punjab, or even to unseat a government. In fact, it's claimed that the Indian farmer protests are a Soros-backed movement to break India. So it seems that this political image of some sort of bogeyman sat behind the farmer on a tractor will be used to try and help quell these anti-net zero programme protests. Just pick the bogeyman to fit the locality. Punjab independence in India, the far right in Europe, and sprinkle in a bit of Soros and xenophobia too, and smear job complete. But no one's listening anymore, are they? Anyway, what do you think about all of this? Please like, subscribe, and comment away below.